Well, first of all, cheers for having a chat with us here about the Premier League. The first question, I suppose, would be now that Robin Van Persie has signed up at Manchester United, do you think that will swing the Premier League title race in their favour?
Well, signing Van Persie is psychologically a big move for United. First of all, they stole him from Manchester City, and he chose to go to United instead of City, which I think it would be a bit of a downer for City. Mancini, Manchester City's manager, was angry that the club didn't buy him. So all of those things, I think, are positive factors for United. And if Van Persie stays fit, and there's a big if about that because his fitness record over the years isn't good, then he could be a very valuable asset for United. But you have to integrate a striker into a team, and it requires a change of role for Wayne Rooney as well, and that isn't always simple, easy or quick. On the whole, it is good for United, but it's certainly, I wouldn't say it's a game changer, but it's a positive for United if he plays well, if he starts scoring goals, and the most important is if he stays fit. But they have major problems with their defenders. Smalling and Jones are two outstanding young players, and they're out for the foreseeable future, which means that United are going to struggle. Ferdinand is injury prone. Carrick had to play centre half at Everton, and we have to see how fit Village will be. He's had almost a year off, so there are a lot of imponderables for United defensively. Their attacking play will be good, I think. The new player they signed from Dortmund was very impressive at Everton, so I think he'll be a good signing. I would make Manchester United favourites to win the championship, but I would be worried if they don't get their best defenders back. I have doubts about Manchester City. There's trouble there, tensions between the manager and the director of football, Brian Marwood, and that cannot be good. So on balance, I'd favour United. The Van Persie factor is significant psychologically.
Okay, and which sides do you think will make up the top four this season?
Well, I think United and City and Chelsea will be the first three, and then you're looking at Newcastle possibly. I don't think Arsenal can possibly make the top four again, but Newcastle could. Liverpool, they made a bad start in the first weekend. Big club. They don't have any money to invest in players, so that's an uncertain. I went for Liverpool to be the fourth club on the basis that they have a good young manager, but their performance in the first game is very disappointing indeed. Not really a compliment to the coach. Stupid goals given away, a lack of attention to detail, which was most surprising. If they tighten up at the back, I think Liverpool will have enough firepower up front to be competitive in the league.
And which sides are destined to relegation?
Relegation, I think the usual suspects up to a point. The teams that came up, Southampton most obviously would be, I'd say, contenders for relegation again. Wigan are always there, and you'd have to think Wigan would be somewhere in the relegation fight. Southampton also. I think Norwich could well be also. They had a very heavy 5-0 defeat first match away to Fulham, and Chris Hughton's there as manager now. I think Norwich are bound to be down there struggling. The key to the relegation battle is resources. If you don't have the money to be competitive, then you struggle. Swansea made a very good start, but I would say they've had to sell players. They don't really have the resources to be a Premier League club, so they're another team that could be in the mix. I think the surprise maybe in the relegation battle could be Aston Villa. They may be down there as well, which would be a major surprise.
And then looking ahead to this weekend's games, what do you think the results are going to be?
Well, I think it's very tricky at the start of the season, and the Premier League in the last two seasons, the last season particularly, has been very volatile. lots of strange results. Now, for betting purposes, we did okay back in draws last year, but this week I think there is a treble that has a real chance. It's 11-4, which is a good price. The three teams: Manchester United at home to Fulham, Chelsea to beat Newcastle. Newcastle will be contenders, and they beat Spurs last week, but they have a couple of injuries and doubts about them. They're playing Europa League football as well in midweek, which won't help. I think Chelsea will beat Newcastle, and I think Sunderland will beat Reading. So the treble this week is a win treble. Chelsea, Manchester United, Sunderland, 11-4. I think it's very good value.
Thank you very much for the interview.